Hey, Gremlin Gear, what's going on everybody? Today we are going to be talking about IFAKs, and no, not these expensive types of IFAKs that you see everyone getting, but ones you can make yourself, also known as a boo-boo kit. But this is an individual first aid kit that is meant to keep you comfortable and healthy in the field. If this is your first time to the channel, go ahead, give a like, subscribe, and if you're returning, thank you. You're a real one. So an individual personalized first aid kit is an awesome addition to any kit. You're going to be rolling up like the soccer mom Karen who has all the band-aids to take care of everybody. So this is just for me, and these are just a couple items that keep me more comfortable in the field. I obviously use this way more than I use my $80 IFAK that most people buy to put in their med kits. This is much smaller and, like I said, much cheaper. You can probably make this with a bunch of items that you already have in your house with some type of Ziploc bag, as shown here. I've used this bag, this medical kit, more than anything else probably on my kit besides the mags. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about a couple of the items that I carry, maybe what I would carry more of or add to this one, and how you can make a couple of these and distribute it amongst all of your gear. So as you can probably already tell from the contents that you can see through the bag, biggest thing that you're going to probably use, that is I'm sure you have in your house that you can go ahead and add, are band-aids. A couple of band-aids. I am only carrying 5 band-aids. I would carry anywhere between 5 and 10, and I keep a rubber band around them just to keep them a little bit more compact. You can get any band-aid that you want. This obviously isn't a band-aid brand. Doesn't matter. Now these, in this pill bag, by the way, you can get these little pill bags from Walgreens, and I love these things. And you can, they can fit very small items such as alcohol swabs, and I'm getting ready to replace these because over time these things dry out a little bit, and if they're exposed to moisture, it can mess them up a little bit. But I'll carry about 10 of these, and that might be a little bit overkill, but I figure for each cut you might end up using 2 or 3 of these depending on how dirty it is and how bad the actual cut is. So I go a little bit heavier on the alcohol pads, on the alcohol swabs, carry about 10 of those in a pill bag, and again, this is all to keep this waterproofed, also why the Ziploc bag is there, but also to kind of separate this from everything else. So going on, we have, you guessed it, bigger band-aids. So I just carry one here. This is a like filmy type of band-aid, kind of has a water resistant, waterproof seal. And this is a nice dressing for like a larger wound, and I only carry one of these. This is a bit thinner. You can get other types of thicker band-aids, and maybe you want to carry more. I just carry the one because this is kind of a weird type of, large injury or scab that I feel like I might only need one for, but you can definitely plus up, but some of them are a bit thicker than these, as you can see. And this is all stuff, like I said, that I have just scavenged from medical bags around the house or my parents' house or my apartment. So now we have here gauze pads. So if I was going to add one thing to this kit, probably be a roll of gauze and a little bit more gauze to carry. With this, you're going to need some way to tape this down, and so that can be anything from electrical tape or duct tape worn on your kit elsewhere. I wouldn't necessarily put that tape in the bag because probably needs to be multi-use tape. You can also wrap tape around a lighter, a bunch of duct tape, and then unroll it. That way you're not carrying a thick roll of tape somewhere on your gear if you can't do that, or if it's just too big and you don't want to. And I don't know, some of you guys might cringe at this, but I just throw in the tourniquet instructions that come with it just for giggles. That way, if I need to show anyone how to use one, let's say no one's gotten shot now, like it's always on me and it's in my boo-boo kit. Next, probably some of my most used items, and I think a lot of y'all can relate to this. And this is the part where it really starts to be customized. So you can carry anything in here from like your own medication that you need, if you need any special type of medication. For me though, I have a mixed bag of Benadryl and Tylenol. So you guys know what Benadryl and Tylenol do. So I've got something for allergies and just for, you know, if my body's achy. And I can always have that in the field and take that if I think it's necessary to, or give it to other people. You know, I could carry more in here, but I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible. But I do have a few, and if I know I'm going to get the resupply, I can hand out some to my buddies. The thing that I probably use the most are these eye drops. These are just allergy eye drops. They're kind of expensive, but you can get any allergy eye drops or get a bottle that's kind of like half full. These are probably honestly expired, but yeah, they're definitely expired. 2020, but they still work. They still get the job done. So I use those. They're good for the job. Now these, nothing special here. These are just saline eye drops. You can use, let's fix up all this. You can use another bottle like this of saline, but I had these laying around and they're kind of cool because you have just what you need in the capsule. You pop this, you drop some in your eyes, and then you move on. Then we have some Neosporin to add on with our Band-Aids, because this is always kind of good to have with a scab. Kind of is going to increase the healing process. This can also kind of be used as chapstick if you don't have any on the fly, but I always carry some chapstick on my kit somewhere, just not in this bag. So, also I might cringe at this, but wound seal. I know there's been a little bit of controversy about wound seal, but I have used it many times and I think it works good. I like having some. This is another item that I scavenged and I have it in my kit. Lastly, medical, you know, plastic gloves. Keep yourself protected in case I'm doing something weird on myself or other people. So I keep that in here too. I try to keep a set of gloves around. It's a good thing. It's a hygiene thing. So have an extra set of gloves around or two. Can't go wrong there. So let's repack everything. And the weirdest thing about this kit, this little personal med kit, IFAK, whatever you want to call it. I think this is what a first aid kit should look like. It's not trauma gear, which is like what this is. This is like for a gunshot. This is like for trauma. I'm not going to open this up and tamper with what's inside unless I just really need to use it because something really bad is happening. This is a first aid kit, right? This is first aid. This is simple stuff. This is boo-boos in the field. Easy things. So the weird thing is about this is it's kind of an extra item. I don't know if a lot of guys are doing this. I definitely do it. This is one of the first kits that I built out on my own to add to my equipment. But that's what I want to show you is where I keep it on my gear. That way you can maybe have an idea of where you want to store it. So if you have a large GP pouch, that works. Right now, I'm going to put over my, I'm going to squeeze this on here. This is my FLC that I kind of use for, right now I'm using it for just hiking, so I've got some weird stuff on it. But these inner pockets, I usually just stuff it back here, and these work fine in these rear pockets for the FLC. It stays flat-ish to my body, and that way I don't have to worry about it taking up space in a GP pouch. But if you think you're going to get to it more often, maybe you do have a larger GP pouch. That's why I have this one down here. It can obviously fit in here as well, but it takes up a lot more of the pouch. And honestly, the zipper can get stuck in the Ziploc bag, and if you rip it, it will not be waterproof anymore. So keep that in mind. You could also just stuff this in like a canteen pouch that you're using for a GP, or if you have enough room in your main medical pouch, which I don't really, you can stuff it in there too. So I use a canteen pouch sometimes for my, let's just show it right now. I've got 2 tourniquets in here. I'm gonna take those out. All right, I've got my IFAK, stuff it in here. I've got my 2 tourniquets, and I bet it will fit, but I bet it will be kind of tight. I'm just gonna slide this in behind. Yeah, it's kind of a tight fit. I'd rather not do that. I feel like it's gonna squish, so. I don't really have enough space. If you took the tourniquets out, you definitely would. I'm just weird about that. So I know some of you guys might store your tourniquets in some other pouch. But yeah, that's why it's good to have a big medical pouch. Carry a lot of stuff in there, miscellaneous items. And yeah, those are the vibes. Let's show the tap panel real quick. So the tap panel has these enormous back pockets that I don't really keep a whole lot of stuff in, but it's gonna go in the center one because it's the easiest to grab. And yeah, bing, bada, boom. Now you can also put it in one of the side wings. I know my camera's really close to my desk right now, so it's not showing everything super well, but there it is. You can put it in the side wings, like I was saying, like maybe right here, because actually what ends up happening is whenever I wear this rig, this actually bends a little bit and creates a little bit of space between me and my body. And this would actually fill up that space better and leave the front flatter against my body. But like I said, find a GP pouch, find a pocket, you know, in the back of your rig, some happy home for something like this. And with the addition of a few more items maybe that you can think about that you want to carry, this will be a really awesome boo-boo kit, first aid kit item for your gear. And I built out multiple of these. Like I keep them in backpacks, I keep them on my body. I try to keep it on my person at all times. I don't really want to be without this. This is like a high like comfort thing. If I've got really bad allergies or really bad eye drops or something like, or I need eye drops, not a good day. Also, I might plus up on my allergy medication actually and add like some 24-hour allergy pills or something like that in there. I think that's really important too. So if you guys liked this video, give a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Be responsible for yourself, build out your kit, prep now, and peace.